Fresno State coming off its second straight appearance in the Mountain West Conference title game. You got 14 starters back from last year. Where do you see that providing the biggest upside?
Well, anytime you bring guys back on a team that have that experience, it gives you a chance. A year ago we were very, very young. We're still going to be young at certain positions, particularly quarterback. But I like guys that learn from their mistakes. And we made a few of them last year that hopefully we can bring them back and learn from those.
Let's talk about quarterback. Zach Greenlee appears to be perhaps the leader in the clubhouse, but lay that scenario out as it stands right now.
Well, Zach certainly started a game last year and played in some games last year, so he's got the most experience of the guys that were here in the spring. I liked how all three of them competed. We challenged Zach that he wasn't quite where he needed to be, and that if he wasn't going to seize the position, the other two young guys are going to go behind him.
What do you need to see from him?
Well, he's got to understand that being a quarterback is not just in 7-on-7 throwing the ball. He does that really, really well. It's the other things that the quarterback has to do, the leadership things. He's got to make good decisions, and he's gotten better. He's gotten better from bouncing back when he does something maybe not perfect. Hey, shake it off and let's go.
How much does a quarterback situation perhaps open the door for Martez to be more impactful on the ground?
Well, having him back is a real big plus. I think he's one of the best backs in our league, and whether it's Zach or one of the other younger quarterbacks, having a running back that you can depend on, where you don't have to block everybody in the box, he can make guys miss, he can run through tackles. Obviously, he can take a little bit of the load off, but with what we do, a lot of it's dictated on what a defense does. If they're going to load the box up, we've got complete passes.
Let's talk defense now. 60% completion rate on your secondary, which is, I'm sure you're not throwing a party about that statistic, but what makes you believe perhaps this year's crop of DBs can change that?
Well, while the percentage is concerning to us, the bigger concern from my standpoint is we give up way too many big plays. If you make someone earn it, hey, that's going to happen at times. But when they can throw it over the top of your head for 50 yards, now you're not making them earn it. And we had a bunch of young players that hopefully learned from that experience a year ago. I know we got better in the spring, and we need to make the same kind of progress in the fall.
How about a player on each side of the ball you think could be making some noise that maybe isn't on everybody's radar yet?
Well, offensively, I really like the progress our center's made, Bo Bonheim. He's a guy who was a former walk-on that we noticed right away from when we first got here. We put him on scholarship, and he's been a great leader for us, tough kid that we really like. Defensively, it's going to be interesting. I think Kyrie Wilson, not many people know about, but I think he's got great talent. Had a nice year last year. He's got to step up and become a little bit louder leader. He's a quiet guy, but he's got a lot of talent, and I think he's going to have a chance to have a really nice year.
If you were a betting man, which I'm going to assume you're not, Fresno State make it back to the well, that's a great point, in Vegas. But what's the likelihood you see this team back yet again in the conference title game?
I don't put odds on anything, but from day one when I took this job, our number one goal every year is to compete for a conference championship. And I think we're situated where we can still compete this year. Even though we're going to be young, a bunch of names that people don't know, we're going to have a chance to compete.
Bulldogs having at it. Tim DeRuyter, thanks for the time.
Thanks.